Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the College Football Show on the Sports Talkline Network, where we talk sport 24/7, 365. Guys, I'm your host, Spinksy. This is episode number 29. Guys, if this is your first time here, rate, review, comment, all that stuff you got to do. Hit that subscribe button, hop on the Sports Talkline and check out the awesome reporters they have there, some awesome podcasts and great shows. If you're into the NHL, the NFL, even got some Premier League going on there over there at the moment with Arsenal show all the time. Hop on there, guys. Thank me for it later. Excuse the messy hair and the unshaven look. I'm in the process of moving house, which is not great. So this will be the last episode from the Casa de Spinks. Next week we'll be in a whole new set up, whole new couch, whole new studio, all that sort of stuff. Righto, guys, without further ado, let's get cracking. This week I want to touch on the news, the results from last weekend. The college football have just released the playoff rankings for the first time this season, so we'll check on those too. And we'll talk about the best games coming up this week for Rivalry Round. Yes, that is hard to say. Righto, let's get started with some news. The war of words between FSU coach Mike Norvell and the Tigers coach Dabo Swinney has continued to erupt this week. Here's the backstory. The Tigers were on an aeroplane flying to Florida for their game against FSU. FSU had a kid test positive for COVID. They then cancelled the game while the Tigers were in the air. Fair enough. This happens. It's 2020. It's a COVID year. Everyone understands that now. Dabo Swinney has blown his top, thinking that FSU cancelled the game on purpose because they were too scared to face the Tigers. This is the second or third game now the Tigers have had cancelled. It's not looking good for them. Of course, if they lose in the ACC championship game to Notre Dame, they're gone. No Final Four this year for the Tigers, which could be a good thing. But we all know I hate the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So let's continue with this. If you want to go on and have a look at the rant from Dabo Swinney, it is fantastic. Norvell comes back at him a few times. They keep going around in circles, but it's time for this to lay to bed and start thinking about the games you boys have got coming up this weekend. Staying in Florida, the Gators have got tight end Kyle Pitts back this weekend. They've been sensational without him. He's missed 2 games now, I think, so it'd be very nice to have him back. It's just another offensive weapon for the Gators to have going forward this year. They've been sensational all season without with or without him, and they continue to roll on as we've seen. So welcome back, Kyle Pitts. The Minnesota versus Wisconsin game has been postponed, so cancelled this weekend. It's the first time in 113 years this game won't go ahead. Huge rivalry between these two schools. 1907 was the first game, so this is the first time it's been cancelled in a very long time. Now, games being cancelled. The Utah Utes will play Washington Huskies this weekend after their 2 opponents cancelled due to COVID. So very good that these two schools can put something together and still have a game this weekend for their fans and the teams as well. So very good to see 2 organisations coming together. So very nice work there for all of you. Now, biggest results from this weekend just gone. The favourite team of this show, the adopted team of this show, is the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers win again. They beat App State. It was their first win ever over App State. They were 0-6 against their Sun Belt rival. So good to see them come away with the win, 34-23. Really looking good for an undefeated run in the Sun Belt this year, the Chanticleers. Looking at a big New Year's Six Bowl if they can do that. Of course, the Sun Belt championship game will be in a few weeks' time. 8-0 at the moment are the Chants, so very good to see. Let's keep it rolling out there, boys. Ohio State had a hard-fought win this week over Indiana, 42-35. The Buckeyes continue to roll on. Tied this week, but they're 4-0 now. Still sitting inside that top 4. We'll touch on that after, but Justin Fields has got this team humming along nicely. This was a tight game for them, and I think a game they needed. They were spanking teams every single week, and I don't think that was fair on them or others. To be challenged a bit this week certainly helps them. So very good to see them come away with the win, even though it was a tight game. BYU smashed North Alabama 66-14. Look, there's not a lot to say about this game. BYU are looking great. They continue to move ahead. Undefeated still, looking really good. Speaking of undefeated teams, Cincinnati had a good win over UCF, 36-33. Again, they continue to impress. Cincinnati are looking strong. They'll probably get a big New Year's Six game, but I can't see them making that Final Four. Northwestern as well. Northwestern beat Wisconsin, and they've climbed into contention here, Northwestern. We'll touch on that after when we look at the first release of the CFB rankings, but Northwestern is starting to look strong. Huge turnaround there from a team 2 years ago that was absolutely disgusting. They were horrible on offense and defense. Offense is not awesome this year, but they're making enough. They're scoring enough to win these tough games. Defense is awesome, so very good to see from Northwestern. I'm sure your fans are very happy at the moment. Oklahoma Sooners won the Battle of the Oklahomas on the weekend, the Bedlam as they call it. OSU Cowboys seem to have fallen apart the last couple of weeks. I think they now lost 2 or 3 games. They were undefeated there for a long time and pushing for a top 4 finish. The Cowboys just seem to not be the same team they once were in the first 4 or 5 games of this season. The Sooners, though, marching ahead, looking strong. 2 losses now. They probably can't make that Final Four, but they're pushing hard for a good New Year's Six game, I guarantee you. The last game I want to talk about, guys, is the Georgia game up against Mississippi State. Now, Georgia comes out and gets a 31-24 win. Nothing surprising there. They were probably going to beat Mississippi State anyway. But guess who played quarterback for Georgia? That's right, JT Daniels. I told you. Finally, Kirby Smart must listen to this show and he understands the fact that Georgia needs a good throwing quarterback there. Finally, JT Daniels gets his start, throws for 400 yards. That's right, 401 yards. Georgia is no longer a rushing team first, they are a throwing team first. They need to change the way they do things. They don't need to run the football every single time. And JT Daniels proved that. The first chance he gets, he went off and he balled out. So this week, our top pick goes to JT Daniels. Well done, son. You were sensational. Well done. It's about time. Righto. Let's talk AP Top 25. The selection committee for the playoffs has released their Top 25 for the first time. We all know the top 4. You've got Alabama, Notre Dame, the Tigers, and you've got Ohio State Buckeyes there too. Texas A&M in at 5, the Gators are in at 6, Cincinnati at 7, Northwestern at 8 there, looking really strong. Georgia at 9 is ridiculous. Georgia's not a very good team at all. I know they won on the weekend, but being at 9, it just dumbfounds me. The Hurricanes round out the top 10. You've got Oklahoma Sooners at 11, Indiana at 12. A few solid more teams there as well. You've got Texas in there at 17, probably a tad high. USC at 18, the Chanticleers at 20. Probably a little bit hard done by there with the softer draw for the Sun Belt. Of course, if they had tougher games, that'd be higher up the rankings. But there's a few teams ahead of them that have lost twice, and I think that's unfair. So, Chance, you guys just keep on doing what you're doing. It's working, guys, and you should get a good New Year's Six game out of it, I guarantee it. Tulsa rounds out the top 25 there. I don't think they'll stay there terribly long, Tulsa, but we'll see how they go. Right, Rivalry Round is this weekend, guys. Round 13, week 13 officially of the college football season. Only a few more weeks left, and then we'll be into conference championship games. It's been a hell of a season, lots of cancellations, but let's focus on what we've got this weekend first. Notre Dame, number 2, comes up against number 19, UNC. Now, North Carolina is a good team. They're 6-2, and they're the kind of team that can scrape together these wins. You heard it here first. UNC beats Notre Dame this weekend. And I'm not just saying that because I don't like the Irish at all. I'm saying it because UNC are a danger team. You heard it here first, guys. UNC beats Notre Dame this weekend. Speaking about rivalries, one of the greatest rivalries in college football is on again this weekend. Alabama and Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Now, you all know what that means. Incredible defenses. Auburn can come out and smash anyone on their day. I think this will be a tighter contest, and I think this is the kind of contest Alabama needs before they play the Gators. I think this is a tight game. They're going to have to get the win here. It's going to test them in every aspect of what they do. Really good to see Alabama get tested before they probably roll through the SEC championship game. So hopefully Bama is on their game and they get the win here this week. Now, LSU played Texas A&M. Everyone should remember that 2018 7 overtime game. It was incredible. I still remember it. Obviously, LSU were on the losing end on that day. They obviously smoked them last year, going undefeated all season. Texas A&M ranked 5th this year at the moment. LSU, of course, at 500 at the moment, 3-3. I think that they've been an average team this year. I can't see why the Aggies can't get across the line here with this one. The last game I want to touch on, guys, is Kansas Jayhawks at TCU. Now, the Jayhawks are 0-7, as we know. I tend to mention them every single week because we're hoping for them to get a win at some stage, and this is the week they win. So we're picking 2 upsets this week. We're picking Kansas Jayhawks over TCU, and we're picking the North Carolina over Notre Dame. So, look, guys, I just want to thank everyone for coming on the show and listening again. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Eat, drink, and be merry. Hooroo.